I'm Fletcher Rhoden, and this is Quotes and Quips. Today on Quotes and Quips, words of wisdom from Booker T. Washington. Quotes and Quips is brought to you by my website, FletcherRhoden.com. That's where you can get links to my Amazon authors page. That's where you can buy my books in paperback or for Kindle or in audiobook format. You can also find a link to my Spotify artist page. That's where you can download my music in all its various subgenres. Last year, 2024, I had a 4-album series called Quadrilogy. And this year I've got a brand new pop album called I'm Possible. Now you can download those albums and my other albums anywhere over the internet, wherever you like to download your favorite music. At my website, there's free music that you can get there exclusively, so enjoy it. Let's see, Booker T. Washington, the famous African-American author and educator, tells us this: character is power. Character is power. Well, like a lot of quotes on this show, it's pithy, it's short, and it's impactful. It's timeless. It speaks to anyone at any time. If I had children, I would tell them this: character is power. Now, power is something we're frenzied to find, it seems. Scarface says, first you get the money, then you get the power. Some would say that sex is the root of all inspiration. That the only reason you want the money is to get the power, but the only reason you want the power is to get the sex. But then we go down a rabbit hole of Freudian psychology that we don't really have to do. Let's keep it up on the surface. On the Earth's surface, where we live day to day. Character. This involves integrity. Integrity is an aeronautical term. You might remember this from last year's Quotes and Quips. I asked my father this, what is integrity? And he explained that it's an aeronautical term referring to the fixed wing, which is all aircraft, all airplanes that we think of are fixed wing aircrafts. The wings don't move like a bird's wings, they're fixed, they're stable. But they do flex because they're made out of metal, and metal is flexible, and it reacts to different external influences. So when there's ice on the wing, for example, and it's very, very cold, that'll make the wings bend in a certain way as the metal contracts with the coldness of the ice. Conversely, if it's very, very hot, the metal expands with heat, and that'll change the shape of the fixed wing subtly. The wing will react to these external influences. But if the wing's integrity holds, then it will react the same way given the same external influences. It won't change its reaction depending on whatever. If the integrity of the wing is violated, the wing will fail to sustain the reaction and it will break. If, for example, there's a little crack in the wing, well, that's a violation of the wing's integrity, and the wing will snap, given too much pressure. So if you look at the human condition, what you see as integrity is reliability. We all have to flex. We all have to react. We all have to adjust. But how we do that, and the predictability and the reliability of that, is called integrity. And character is a measure of your integrity. If you have no integrity, you have no character. Now, some would say character can be described this way. Character. When you have character, you have everything. When you don't have character, you have nothing. The same can be said of honor or integrity. When you have these, you have everything. When you lack them, you have nothing. So when we hear from Booker T. Washington that character is power, we're also hearing integrity, reliability, honesty, forthrightness. A person you cannot trust, a person who is dishonest, that's a person who lacks integrity, reliability, character. That's a person who has no power. Now, conversely, one can say, well, isn't it true that people attain power mostly by dishonesty? Isn't it true that most people lie their way to the positions of power? I've discussed on this show a quote about that it's an oxymoron that, or a paradox rather, not an oxymoron but a paradox, that dictators climb the ladder of power, or rise to power on the ladder of freedom of speech. That's a paradox, because as soon as they get to power, that ladder gets burned down behind them. So it is also true that many people of power do not have character. They're more like characters. For example, Adolf Hitler, the leader of the Third Reich in Germany, ascended to power without character. He did not have integrity. He lied about this and that. He changed his story about the Jews. He changed his story about Hindenburg. He changed his story about how he wanted Germany to be run, until those things were synonymous with one another, Hitler and Germany. A little Freudian slip there. He was not a man of character, but he became a man of power. Mussolini had more character than Hitler. At least Mussolini believed in some of the things he said, but he became a man of power. However, these men both lost their power. Look at Saddam Hussein, man of power, man of character. What of some men of power in this country? Men of character or men of power? It's up to you to decide. You're the American voter. But just remember that character is power. But when Booker T. Washington says it, when he says character, he means integrity. He means reliability. He means virtue. He doesn't just mean just reliability, because a bad person, a thief can be relied upon to steal, and a liar can be relied upon to lie. So it's not just reliability. It's about integrity. Integrity includes reliability, but there's more to it. That's where you get into character. I think it's integrity and reliability must converge with virtue in order for it to be considered character. And therein is where we find true personal power, not power over others. See, character is power. We like to look at these, I use the royal we, because I'm the only one here, in these quotes on Quotes and Quips, into two parts. Most things are two parts. Most sentences are not independent clauses. This one is, but most aren't. Most quotes are not one thought, but two. So here we have character. We look at the idea of character. Well, that includes integrity and reliability, but also virtue. Now, what is power? Well, as we've seen, you can't really change the outside world. You can only change the world within. You can affect the outside world, but it can always change without you. But the only real permanent, effective, true change you can do, you can have, you can undertake, in which you can participate, is the change within. So when he says character is power, he means character is personal power. It's personal power. It's not power you lord over others. If you're the more colorful character, then you get all the power. That's not what it means. That's what Hitler turned it into, because he was the most colorful character. And that's what Mussolini did too, and others. But that's not what the quote means. The quote means character, personal character, the world within, because your integrity, your reliability, your virtue, that's in you. That's on you and in you. Therein lies power. Personal power. Not communal social power. Personal power to do what? To be a better person. To live a better life. To set a better example for others. To have a cool YouTube show that discusses these things. To write cool books and make cool music that people can download through their website, which sponsors their show. You get what I'm saying. You got to do what you can do. You got to be the change you hope to see in the world. So no matter how small you are still a person. These all converge together. And when Booker T. Washington says, character is power, he doesn't mean that you're a character so you can have power over others. It means if you have personal character, you have personal power. And that's the only kind of power you can hold on to. All the other powers, Hitler lost his, Mussolini wound up hanging from his ankles. That kind of power, Julius Caesar got stabbed 30 times by his best friends. So that kind of power is fleeting. But personal power, that's not contingent on others or on the changing of the tides or of the times. That personal power is yours forever. But it only comes from one source. You can't get it any other way than character. Let's look at the thing backwards. Character is power. Yes. Switch them now. Power is character. Personal power is personal character. It's not really a cause and effect thing. It's sort of a duality. You can't have one without the other. You cannot be a lying cheater and also an honorable person. The honorable person will do the honorable thing. What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. See how they all come together? It all manifests with Booker T. Washington. Character is power. Personal power. Then, when you demonstrate that, others will learn by your example. Then they'll assume personal power over themselves. They'll influence others in the doing. You can't talk a person into anything. You got to show them. That's the world within. That's character. And that is power. All other power, illusory, fleeting. The people who wield it are inevitably consumed by it. History tells us this. Caligula, Nero, all those guys. Power's a double-edged sword. That means you cut with the outer edge, and the inner edge cuts you. But personal power, that never betrays you. Personal power, which comes from character, only will cut outward and will never betray you. You'll never be undone by your own character. And if you are, then perhaps so much the better. And then the world, so much the poorer. So, keeping in mind the words that character is power, I hope you'll feel empowered to come and watch this show again. I'm here every other Monday at noon, right here on this YouTube channel. I alternate with my other new show called Fletcher Rhoden's Pet Peeves, also on Mondays, here at noon. You can watch reruns of this show, Quotes and Quips, from the 2024 season. Or you can also, that's here on this YouTube channel, and you can watch Tracking the Lone Wolf, which is my show from 2023 on its own YouTube channel, Tracking the Lone Wolf. Check out my music, new album, I'm Possible. Read my books. Tune in again. Until then, bye, Mary.
Bye.